Angel Fuentes, part of the Math 32 Section 20 class, also part of the discussion of 21D. In the fall semester of 2021, we're going to be talking about true negatives, false positives, the relation between the two, and how it applies to us. True positive, true negative. What do these mean? A true negative is where the desired outcome or result of a condition is not fulfilled, right? So the result, right, where you get a DNA test of you saying it's not the father, when you know physically that you know you're not the father, that is a true negative condition. A true positive condition is where the outcome or the result aligns with the condition that is being fulfilled. For example, Snoop Dogg, he smokes weed, he does psychedelics, and he tests positive for a drug test. That is considered a true positive condition. So, for a false positive or a false negative, what are they? A false negative is where the outcome or the result does not represent the fulfilled condition of the subject. For example, if you know you have a STD, but you get tested and you come out negative for an STD even though you have the disease, that is a false negative. For a false positive, it's kind of the reverse, where the outcome of a result entails that you have a condition, but the condition is actually not fulfilled in actuality. For example, if you test positive on a COVID test when you do not actually have the disease. So it's probability. Well, it actually relates to a very important topic known as conditional probability, where the probability of an event or happening occurs based on another event that has already occurred. For example, I go to the beach, right? And it's near the ocean. What's the probability of going to the ocean if, if I'm at the beach already, right? So this is denoted as the probability of A given B equals the probability of A union B, or A being the ocean, B being the beach, right? So it can also be used in Bayes' rule, right? Where the probability of A given B equals the probability of B given A times the probability of A divided by the probability of B. However, this denominator has to include both the true positives as well as the false positives, or the true negatives plus the false negatives, depending on our given situation. So we have an example. Jesse is an employee that likes to dabble in meth. His manager doesn't really like it, makes him get a drug test to make sure he's clean on site. Jesse returns with a positive score, but he's claiming it's false. Mike doesn't really believe him, so he employs us to go ahead and find out the probability of whether Jesse was under the influence during the test. The test is 92% accurate, and Jesse's under the influence of 5% of the time. So here are our given. So we have our given, but how are we going to solve this? Well, first, what I like to do is I like to go ahead and figure out, okay, what's the probability that he is drug free? So the probability he is drug free is about 95%. So that's pretty high. So let's employ Bayes' rule. Now, I mentioned in Bayes' rule that we have to include both the true positive and false positive values, right? So how does that work? Well, we have the true positive where he was positive given that he was drugged up times the probability that he was drugged up divided by the denominator, which is both the true positive portion as well as the false positive, where the probability that he tested positive even though he was drug free times probability that he was drug free. So we need that false positive value right there, where he was tested positive, however, he was actually drug free. So how do we do this? Well, given that the accuracy of the whole test is 92% or 0.92, it's the whole test. We can actually just take the complement of that probability in order to find out if he's drug free. So we take the complement, and it's actually 0.08. Now we have everything we need to solve this equation. So we plug in all the values to our formula that we created. On the right are all the probabilities that we were given and we calculated. So we plug those numbers in, and we get this equation. Once we solve the equation, we find out that the probability that Jesse was under the influence when he took the test was 37.7%, which is very unlikely. Hopefully this video helped you out. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Here are some of the sources